It's 2 minutes out. Is that the center one? Which one is it?
It's the one facing you. Yep. And that's the one I will be going to first. 53, 52, 51, 50. And then it plays the Let's Go intro.
Just taller.
Yeah, I think you better quit talking.
Welcome to our brand new live stream podcast, live from Precedence. I am your slightly unplanned host for this, our very first podcast. And my name is Jordan Carls. I'm the owner of Precedence Music Academy and Precedence Productions here in Montrose. And I say I'm your unplanned host because we've had this in the works for months. And I'm sitting here with A.J. Fullerton, one of Montrose's favorite sons, returned after, partially because get stuff going, get things started, shake things up a little bit and start something new and beautiful and just kind of watch what happens. And we had just a wonderful show put together full of all just great local acts, and we were sitting and listening to it and watching it and went, yeah, this is pretty good. And then we watched it again and went, wait, something's missing here. And we finally figured out that it just came out kind of flat. So all the musicians that were up doing just a wonderful job had no one that they were singing for. All the people that were doing any of the art stuff had no one to talk to. And in this old Masonic Temple ballroom, which is now called the Skylight Ballroom here at Precedence Productions, it just fell flat. And we finally really figured out that it is a requirement to have an audience. If you're having live music or any of the stuff, that interaction between the people on the stage and the people in the audience is really what the whole thing is about. And so for this very first one, we were going to put this together for a Valentine's Day kind of special show. And all the acts that we filmed and previously recorded over the last, weeks, it's been weeks of work to put this together, are all great performances. And we'll kind of put them out as clips on the Precedence Productions Facebook page as we get further on into this. And the whole purpose of this live stream show is really to highlight local musicians, local artists, local talent, and just really to kind of get things going again. So our biggest goal with all this is to turn it into a mostly live show with a few things previously recorded. Obviously, we'll have to. If it's a coffee shop, most of them aren't open at 9 o'clock at night, and stream it, and just to kind of show everyone that's around what we're all about. And the next week's show, which I really highly recommend you check out, it will feature AJ Fullerton, who is back in town for a little while at least, and the whole thing we were trying to do for next week is to put an audience in the show, and obviously keep it as safe and socially distanced as we possibly can. And the show is actually going to be filmed and live streamed, but the audience is going to be the first responders in the area, the police officers, the fire, the sheriff, state patrol, just all the people who are out putting it on the line, honestly, every day, not only during the COVID pandemic, but just every day. And so next week, AJ Fullerton will do a full, fairly rare live solo show, and it will put it up on the Facebook page, let everyone know where it is, and it'll be on the Precedence Productions website as well. So be sure to check it out and let us know what you think. And with all this stuff, we've been working very closely with the city and the county to make sure that everything we're doing, and as we're getting live shows and concerts started back up again, is that all of it's done working with them and really paying attention to what needs to happen to keep everybody safe in this whole thing. So as we're getting further along, we're going to have plays and live shows and dance recitals and all sorts of things moving forward, but done as safely as we can. And because I was born and raised in Montrose, and something somebody said to me a long time ago here was that one of the best things you can do is think think global, but act local. And I heard it from a young age, and it really, really stuck with me. And really, that's the goal of this whole show, is to broadcast out to the world what the just crazy amounts of talent we have in this area. And, Montrose and Delta and Ouray and Telluride and Paonia and Gunnison, the whole southwest Colorado, in fact. And it's just amazing, some of the people that are out here. And bringing all the local people together as much as we possibly can and putting that out to the world. And we're talking, musicians and artists and the theaters and the dance troupes and the local businesses and teachers and everything that, all the cultural things that make a community great. And these are our, friends, our neighbors, the people that we work with and do business with every single day. And with that in mind, too, is if you know of somebody, or if that somebody is you, that thinks you'd be a really good fit for what we're trying to do here, please get in touch. You can visit, like I've said, precedenceproductions.com, and just leave us a message. Let us know what you do, and we'll be in touch. Or if you know somebody that you think would really be a good fit, have them get in touch, or get in touch for them, and let's just get something started and really watch what happens. So I say right at the very beginning that I'm kind of the unplanned host, because we had all these great acts lined up, and like I said, when it fell kind of flat, I ended up just sitting down and doing this. But the highlight kind of what we were doing was an interview I did earlier this week with local artist, and I'm going to say superstar, AJ Fullerton, who is, like I said, again, back in town for a little while. And sat down with him and just kind of talked about what he's got going on and what he's looking at for the future. So, give that one a listen, and there's something kind of special and cool there at the end as well. So, again, thank you guys very much for watching, for tuning in, and let's get this stuff going again. Let's get live music and art and theater and all the cultural things that we're so good at. Let's get this started again. And if we can help do that here, that would be amazing. And if you would like to help, or if you want to be part of that, please get in touch and let's just get it going. So without further ado, this is earlier this week, AJ Fullerton. I'm sitting here with AJ Fullerton, one of Montrose's favorite sons, returned after, well, partially because of the COVID, but returned to Montrose for a variety of reasons, and in the ballroom sitting here chatting with what's happening in your life.
Oh man, lots going on. First and foremost, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good to be home. It's been a trip. I've been on the road now pretty much since high school. I grew up here, graduated 2013, and been quite literally all around the world. I did some stuff in Europe a year or two ago, and done a lot of U.S. touring, and just about to put out a new record.
Really?
Yeah.
Has it been released yet? Can people go buy this right now, or is it kind of on hiatus for the?
Well, I don't know
with the rest of the world
when this is coming out, but the record is coming out on March 26th.
So some in the future.
Yes.
From now.
Not this moment, but in a while from now, yeah. March 26th on VizTone Records, my sophomore solo record will be coming out.
When was your first solo record?
I did a record in Denver back in 2017 called Kalamath. It was my first attempt at a professionally made, solo record in a big studio.
Right.
And it did really well. It won, what was it? A bunch of awards from the Colorado Blues Society, including, I think, Album of the Year or something like that.
I'd heard of that.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that I've been really excited to make this new one.
So is there a focus for the new album, or is it just a collection of songs that you wrote or covers, or what we got going?
Yeah, it's a great question. There's definitely a theme to it. I actually recorded the entire album in Toronto.
Some great studios in Toronto.
Dude, I know. I spent like 2-3 weeks up there doing the whole session on site with a Canadian producer, a guy named Steve Mariner, and worked with all session players up there, and basically went up there with just a guitar and a bag,
Yeah.
and made this record on site. And this was back in, a while now, December of 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just right at the end there, got up to Canada while he still could and made this record. And I wanted to go for a variety of reasons. There's 3 or 4 Canadian artists I really admire, especially roots Americana-wise, and I actually got to work with a couple of them on the session because Steve, the producer,
that's cool,
knew those guys. And so, I got to kind of work with some of my heroes and, kind of like a lot of artists, go and make a little retreat, go to a place that isn't here, our home.
Let the creative juices flow a little bit, yeah.
Totally. And made this record. It's, I don't know exactly how many tracks because it's been a while since I recorded it. I want to say it's 12. Don't quote me. 10, maybe 12.
Enough. There's enough tracks.
There's enough tracks, for sure.
It's not too much, but
leaves you wanting more.
The perfect amount, yeah.
Mostly original. One track that is not is a song by a Tennessee artist friend of mine named J.D. Taylor. And the other track is actually by one of those Canadian artists I really admire, a guy named Paul Reddick, who's a poet, and he writes a lot of Americana blues music, but it's very I would call it avant-garde. He uses a lot more chords than your average blues band.
Yeah.
There's a lot of colors to his writing in the sense of a lot of really interesting chords, really great lyricism. And we ended up covering one of his tunes, which I think is actually a co-write between him and a Nashville guy named Colin Linden. But we got Paul in the session and actually did the song as a duet with him, which was kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a great album. Well, the big elephant in the room is, how did COVID affect first of all, the release of that album and touring?
Right. Well, it's affected it in ways I can't even explain, like everybody.
Yeah.
The goal was originally to release this record in March of 2020. We decided, though, with everything going on in the world, to at least push it back a year to see what was going on. And by the holidays, we kind of decided that it didn't really make any sense to just keep sitting on it.
Right.
So, hoping things get better, we're going to put it out there. And I think it's already starting to get some pretty good buzz.
So if you weren't touring, what ended up bringing you back to the hometown?
Well, there's a lot of things that have been going on. To kind of jump off the very end of that last question, I think like everybody else, I've been finding other ways to kind of keep busy, make money, get by. Been doing a lot of recording, producing, things like that. And then obviously, as you know, my dad passed away back in July of last year.
I'm really sorry about that one.
Thanks, man. So, like everyone, it's been a tough year. But I'm excited. I feel like, knock on wood, things are getting better. And, I think this new record is going to be a great step in the right direction.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Well, and as things break loose, are you planning to tour this new album? And if you are you doing it solo, or do you have a band that goes along with you?
We're going to try. We did the whole record as a band record. We got some phenomenal people on it, too. I mean, if I have time for a quick little story, I don't know if we're on the clock. But
I don't think we really have a time frame.
Excellent. Well, one of my favorite parts of going up there is I actually flew into Ontario to meet with the producer, or Ottawa. I flew into Ottawa, Ontario, to meet with the producer. And
Ontario's big.
It's a big province, right? They got those up there. And he picked me up at the airport. And he said, "Hey, we got a little free time. Do you want to meet your bass player for this session?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be super cool." And I thought we were going to like a bar or something, going like to a little dive. And he takes us to like this 40,000 person venue, like the Pepsi Center.
Yeah. Like
a giant sports stadium. And it turns out that this gal played bass on the record named Anna Ruddick is the touring bass player for City and Color, this great indie Americana act you might know. And we got third row seats to watch this concert of, an artist I loved in high school.
Right.
And my bass player. It was the most surreal experience. And the rest of the band was about the same caliber. It was kind of nuts,
Well, those are the stories you can only get off the road.
Right.
And they're few and far between, really. So the touring thing, everyone has kind of a romanticized image of it, I know. But
yeah.
Is it your favorite thing, doing the touring?
I love it. I think like with any job or anything you do, it's about who you surround yourself with. And jumping back to that other question, I've been touring a lot as a solo act throughout my whole life. I mean, when I was a teenager playing in Montrose, I would mostly do solo acoustic shows. And then I kind of started building up and playing more as like duos with harmonica players and other guitar players. And then in the past few years, I've been doing primarily full band stuff. Festival shows or any larger stages. It's primarily a 4 or 5 piece.
So you're getting bigger and bigger audiences as well, and
if you're lucky.
So I heard really briefly through the grapevine that you were planning to go back to Europe and tour when all this hit. Do you have plans to go back on world tours, or are you just kind of...
We're working on it. Like everyone, I think everyone in the industry is just trying to pick up the pieces, trying to figure out what the next move is. The story you're probably thinking of was last March, or last February, I guess.
It was like Berlin or something, if I remember right.
Yep. I got a phone call from a friend of mine in Berlin, and I was supposed to fly out March 1st of 2020 to Europe for like 2.5 weeks, yeah. And she called me like at 11 p.m. on the last day of February and said, "Hey, don't come." And at the time I was like, "What are you talking about?"
We hadn't really caught on to what was going on yet. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we can do more stuff in Europe, and it's kind of weird. But this summer, I think we're starting to get some interest for at least some outdoor stuff, some concert series sort of things, and I'm cautiously optimistic.
Do you want to play a tune that you have in mind, maybe for what's coming up in the summer?
I can sure give it a shot.
What?
Okay.
I'll get off. I'll leave then.
Okay. Cool. Let's see here. This is a acoustic version of a song off the new record called Homesick. Be sure to tune in next week. I'll be doing a full set that'll air Thursday, the 18th. Going home. Spent too many days on the road. Home, oh baby, I'm going home. And I don't want to be alone. Where you take from me, oh baby. Taking's all you'd ever seem to do. So won't you give me just one more chance, and I'll show you how I can make it up to you. Well, I'm homesick now, babe. I wanna go home. When the hardship finds you and you're on your own. Oh baby, when the memory's the only thing keeping you going strong. Well, I'm homesick now, babe. Oh, I wanna go home. So home, I'm going home. Spent too many days on the road. Well, home, baby, I'm going home, and I don't want to be alone. Well, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone.
I'd really like to thank AJ Fullerton for sitting down and talking with me and doing that. And next Thursday, which is February 18th, so Thursday, February 18th at 7 p.m., we'll be doing his live solo show. So again, thanks you guys for watching and helping support and get stuff, or helping to support things getting moving again locally. But thanks for everything that everyone's done through this whole the whole incident lately. And be sure to turn in and next week. And again, thank you guys so much for watching today. And keep your eyes tuned to the website, precedenceproductions.com, and on Facebook at Precedence Productions. And there's lots more stuff coming up a lot more things coming as we get everything rolling again. So we'll see you guys again here very, very soon. Thanks very much. Good night.